What's good, fam? The young Prince of the West stepped out of the shadows to put the final nail in that OVO coffin with the effortless cool only pgLang can manage. Since the 2024 war ended, Baby Keem has been moving like a ghost, but he just sat down for a massive profile with Ross Scoreboard for the New York Times on April 16, 2026. This interview is the moment we waited for because Keem was right there in the room while the bombs were dropping and the receipts were being printed. He confirmed exactly what we suspected about the mindset inside Kendrick Lamar's camp during that legendary era, which explains why they stayed so calm. While Drake was spiraling and trying every desperate trick in the book to stay afloat, Kendrick and his team were apparently chilling because they knew the outcome before the first diss track even hit the airwaves. Keem's return to the spotlight is timed perfectly with the release of his new album called Casino and the kickoff of his 2026 solo tour in North Carolina. It is wild to think he stayed out of the media eye since his debut back in 2021, only to resurface now and validate the total destruction of Drake's reputation. Looking at the scoreboard in 2026 makes the timing of this piece feel like absolute poetry. Kendrick is doing victory laps after a historic Grammy sweep that left the industry stunned, and Not Like Us has officially reached diamond status. Keem is letting the world know that the pgLang victory was a statement of absolute dominance they never once doubted. They were not worried about Drake's output or his little sneak disses because they knew exactly who held the real power in this industry. The interview with Scoreboard gives us a rare look at the inner workings of a camp that usually keeps its business behind closed doors. Keem officially broke his silence using the New York Times platform to ensure everyone knows the victory was decisive, and this profile marks his first detailed perspective on the 2024 beef. By coming out now, he is signaling the start of a new era where pgLang continues to reign supreme while the competition is still trying to figure out what hit them. The profile highlights how Keem has matured as an artist and a leader, but his loyalty to Kendrick remains the foundation of everything he does. He confirmed that the entire team felt a sense of calm even when the media was trying to claim the battle was close. It is a crazy contrast to the chaos we saw coming out of the OVO side, where it seemed like they were throwing everything at the wall just to see what would stick. Keem's words serve as a validation for every fan who saw through the smoke and mirrors Drake was trying to use. The young legend is making it clear that when you are playing at this level, you do not have to shout to be heard. He is letting his music and his occasional, well-timed statements do the talking for him. This move into the spotlight for his Casino era shows that he is ready to take the torch and keep the momentum going. One of the most savage parts of this New York Times profile is how Keem describes the actual nature of the lyrical war itself. He told Scoreboard that the 2024 conflict just felt like a sport to them, comparing Kendrick and Drake to two heavyweight fighters in a ring where one was clearly outclassed. The way he talks about it makes it clear that one of those fighters was way out of his league from the jump. Keem admitted that watching Kendrick dominate that conflict gave him a massive ego boost and what he described as the most confidence in the world. It is one thing to believe in your family, but it is another thing to watch them dismantle a global superstar with surgical precision. Keem told the reporter he was so confident in the outcome that he sometimes forgot to even be proud of what they were accomplishing. That is the kind of high-level flex that Drake could only dream of having. Keem was so sure of Kendrick's victory that he did not even bother to celebrate it initially because it felt like a foregone conclusion. To him, Kendrick is the greatest artist of all time, and that makes any battle against someone like Drake feel like a regular day at the office. This commentary frames the boy not as a peer or a fellow legend, but as a competitor who simply could not keep up with the level of sport that Kendrick plays. That ego boost Keem talked about goes way beyond just bragging, because it represents a total power shift that happened once the dust finally settled. Watching Kendrick work his pen up close made Keem realize that the rest of the industry is really just fighting for second place. Since Keem already viewed Kendrick as the greatest of all time, that victory over Drake felt completely inevitable from the very start. He carries himself like a professional athlete who expects to bring home a championship trophy every single season without fail. This focused mentality makes the whole pgLang camp dangerous because they are not out here looking for validation from anyone on the outside. The way Keem breaks it down makes Drake look pretty desperate, especially since Kendrick was just mastering a game he already won years ago. It feels like watching a grandmaster play chess against a beginner who is still trying to figure out how the pieces move. The confidence Keem gained from watching this play out is now fueling his own career moves and a brand new era of dominance. He is walking into his 2026 tour with the energy of a man who knows his entire team is untouchable right now. Drake is out here trying to rebrand himself as the Iceman or whatever new character he cooked up, but Keem knows the scoreboard does not lie. That destruction was permanent, and the pgLang family is still here to collect the winnings while the rest of the game tries to catch up. Keem did not stop at the competitive side of the beef because things got much more personal than the public even realized back then. We saw Drake try his usual playbook by targeting people close to Kendrick, but that move completely backfired when it came to Keem. Rumors started swirling that Drake allegedly tried to contact women in Keem's inner circle just to find some messy leverage or create drama. Keem finally touched on this tension during the profile, explaining how Drake tried to provoke them by dragging his personal friends into the mix. These details give a whole new meaning to those Family Ties lyrics when you look back at them through a 2026 lens. While Drake was busy playing those messy psychological games, Kendrick was doing the opposite by building Keem up as a leader. A revealed email from Kendrick proves their connection goes way deeper than just making hits for the radio. Kendrick sent a message praising how Keem stepped up to lead the family after his uncle Jarrell passed away during a difficult time. Seeing that growth and strength earned Keem a level of respect that most rappers will never get from their peers. Having the support of the undisputed king allowed Keem to completely ignore the critics and whatever weird psychological warfare Drake was running. During the time Kendrick was dismantling Drake's entire reputation, he was also making sure his own family circle stayed protected and tight. You simply cannot break a bond that is built on real-life experiences and shared struggles through the years. Drake tried to move like a snake in the grass, but the camp saw him coming from a mile away because the grass was cut low. The contrast between these two camps is massive because one focused on family while the other was strictly obsessed with manipulation. Keem explained that having Kendrick in his corner gave him a massive shield against all the industry noise and those weak sneak disses. He never had to worry about the rumors because he had the validation of the person he considers the greatest of all time. This allowed him to stay focused on his craft and prepare for the massive casino era that we are witnessing right now. We are firmly in that era now, and the momentum has never been higher for the entire pgLang squad. When Keem dropped that project in February of 2026, every single track came out swinging with that signature high energy he is known for. The standout song is definitely the one titled Good Flirts, which features a heavy guest verse from Kendrick to prove their bond is still solid. After the New York Times interview started trending, Keem took to X to remind everybody that he is not playing nice anymore. He posted a message saying he would no longer pretend like he is not the best in the game right now. Nobody in the industry is going to tell him otherwise at this point in his career because he has the stats to prove it. With the chop positions and critical acclaim he has earned, he can back up every single word he says to the public. This entire new era is fueled by the success of Not Like Us, which officially hit diamond eligibility exactly 1 year after the conflict began. That song became the anthem of a generation that saw the truth and chose a side based on real hip-hop. Before we check out how Keem is evolving while Drake is out here fumbling with that Iceman persona, tell me if y'all think Kendrick is officially the GOAT now that the stats finally match the skill. Drop your take in the comments, no cap, and hit that like and subscribe if you're really about this hip-hop culture. Let's get back into it. Kendrick is locking in his spot as the undisputed heavyweight champion, and Baby Keem is proving that the throne is heading into the right hands. The pgLang team stays at the top of the hip-hop world. They kept their eyes on the art while Drake was worried about his brand logos, and it is funny to see the difference between Keem's growth and Drake's mess. Keem is moving up on a purely creative path, while Drake is still out here pushing weird rebrands like that Iceman persona. Every month brings another attempt to distract us from the massive loss he took back in 2024. The fans are not buying it, and Drake is now trapped in a cycle of desperate legal filings while trying to grab a crown that Kendrick already melted down. When Keem steps back into the spotlight, it shows that the new generation is not looking toward Toronto for inspiration anymore. These kids want the technical skill and the raw honesty that Kendrick and Keem put into every single record they drop. Drake could not even rattle Keem when the beef was at its peak. This proves his old tactics are completely played out, and you will never scare a man who has the seal of approval from the greatest. His family bond goes way deeper than rap music, and the pgLang era is only beginning as Keem takes the lead for the new school. That scoreboard is going to stay lopsided for years because the casino era is a complete cultural takeover by a crew that actually cares about the music. Keem's reaction puts the final stamp on the fact that the pgLang family is currently running the entire sport of rap. Hearing a young artist like Keem speak with that much effortless confidence tells you exactly who won the war in the long run. Drake tried to use personal attacks and family targets to get in their heads, but he failed every time because his foundation was weak. This interview shows that the destruction from 2024 was not some temporary setback for the OVO camp. It was a permanent change in the culture, and seeing Keem get a huge ego boost from watching his cousin work serves as a massive warning. Every other rapper needs to realize the Kendrick Lamar era is just starting. If you step to the king, you will get dismantled just like Drake, because Keem is moving with the energy of someone protected by the greatest. He is dangerous as he enters his prime, and Drake can try to pivot to these new personas like the Iceman all he wants. He will never erase that loss in the public eye. He can file every legal appeal and lawsuit he wants to find relevance, but the fans already made their choice based on the music and receipts. The scoreboard is set at the highest level, and things look ugly for Toronto as they navigate a landscape where they no longer call the shots. Kendrick and Keem are moving like actual champions who do not need to beg for likes or validation on social media. While Drake is busy explaining his loss and rebranding his image every few months, the pgLang team is focused on the next chapter of their legacy. The diamond status of Not Like Us is all the proof we need that the world chose the West Coast over whatever Drake was selling. Keem returning for the casino era is just the start of a new wave of dominance that will define the next several years of hip-hop. We need to see how Drake tries to handle those savage comments Keem just dropped in the New York Times, but first I want to hear from the fam. Tell me if Keem is right about Kendrick being the heavyweight champ. Some of you might think Drake can actually get his spot back with this Iceman rebrand, so let me know your thoughts down below. No cap. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a single breakdown of these industry moves. The scoreboard is not lying at this point, and we are staying right here to track every move as the pgLang family takes their victory lap. This era belongs to the people who care about the pen. Kendrick and Keem are the ones holding the keys to the kingdom right now. We are keeping a very close watch on that tour kickoff in North Carolina to see if Keem has any more heat for the world to hear. Kendrick has already shown why he wears the crown, and Keem is proving he is the rightful heir while everyone else is just scrambling for the scraps.